Not a problem. Thanks, Jamie. Again, my name is Yvonne Chow from Travel Alberta. It's great to be back for the third time and appreciate Jamie from the Chamber and also Pamela's from the Business Associations to organize and promote this webinar. I know a lot of people aren't able to make it today, but hopefully you guys will be able to check out the YouTube link. And of course, everyone else time and Dell's time to learn more about different topics and past participants too coming on here, anything about tourism. So this one is our last session with you guys, but still wants to, for those who might have missed the last two, I just want to have a little bit of the introduction on Travel Alberta. It's that our organization's goal is to promote Alberta as a desirable place to travel, live, work, play, invest, and learn. Working with businesses throughout the province, we capitalize on Alberta's breathtaking landscapes and world-class hospitality to develop memorable experiences for visitors to enjoy in all regions year-round. So, and today's topic on experience development is right up my alley.
It's right up our alley.
Yes. So I'm part of the experience development team. My role is to work with communities, municipalities, destination organizations, chambers, business organizations, and tourism businesses on tourism products developments, and to support existing businesses to develop new and enhanced experiences, as well as helping them to sell to the international travel trade markets as well. So when it comes to experience development, you'll be hearing experience development, memorable experiences a lot throughout the session today. You are creating these experiences for your customers, visitors to purchase and enjoy. So therefore, it is important to know who your target markets and audiences are. So let's take a moment to talk about Travel Alberta's target audience. So we've been using Destination Canada's Explore Quotient segmentation, or we call it EQ. EQ is a psychographic segmentation tool that Travel Alberta adopted a number of years ago, and it segments travelers not just by demographics such as where they come from, their income and education levels, but also by their social and travel values. So, in other words, we consider what's important to travelers as individuals. So, when they travel and the way in which they want to experience a destination. So in 2019, it seems a long time ago, when the government of Alberta set the goal of achieving 20 billion in tourism revenue by 2030, we therefore went back to the drawing board and asked the question, which customers should we be targeting to reach this goal? So we're truly lucky to be working in tourism marketing in Canada because EQ, as I mentioned, is the best psychographic segmentation in tourism world. It clearly segments beliefs and behavior specific to travel. However, we realized we needed to delve a little deeper and define personas we would like to target in order to meet that goal. Think of personas as seeing a character in a movie or a play and just knowing the type. So we're looking for travelers who will help us achieve our tourism revenue goals. First, we had to define the future economic opportunity. So this is important because we didn't want to just find people who like to see lovely photos of Alberta. We wanted to find people who would convert to buy Alberta. Then we wanted to understand the whole person intimately and know how to find them. So with these goals in mind, we then have come up with two persona. So the extensive research we have done shows that these two personas represents the greatest opportunity for tourism in the province. The first one is curious adventurers, and the second one is hotspot hunters, and we call them the ultimate travelers. So both are derived from EQ. Curious adventurers have the characteristics that are similar to the learner segment. What that means is this group tends to dive into learning new things from their travel, mostly through the locals from the place that they visit. They enjoy spending hours in museum, exploring the local culture, seeing natural wonders, or perhaps dining in restaurants that actually serve local ingredients. There's a story behind that. The hotspot hunters are the indulgers who like to indulge in hedonistic experiences that are shared with others. So they are also seeking bragging rights, those ones that always taking selfies of themselves and post it instantly on social media. So they love those bragging rights about the places that they go and things that they do. They love to, check the destination's top attractions off their bucket list. So similar to EQ, this type is called free spirit. So for the sake of time, what I'm going to do is instead of diving into it too much today in too much of a detail, I'll have the link in the chat box. And Jamie, if you can also post this link while you are putting the YouTube link video, that would be great.
Yeah.
These are the profiles of the two ultimate travelers. If you're interested in knowing more about them. So one thing we know is that both of our personas are looking for engaging experiences, whether they want it because it gives them that bragging right or because it gives them a chance to really get to know a destination. So either way, the interest in experiential travel is a trend that's here to stay. So you might be wondering, at what point does a product become an experience? So there are a number of elements that come together to create a travel experience. So going back to Destination Canada, Destination Canada defines an experience as something that engages visitors in a series of memorable travel activities revealed over time that are inherently personal. The experience involves all of the senses and makes connections on a physical, emotional, spiritual, social, or intellectual level. It is travel designed to engage visitors with the locals, set the stage for conversation, tap into the senses, and celebrate what is unique about a destination. It conveys the idea of a more immersive, local, authentic, adventurous, and/or active travel. So keeping this in mind, it can help us differentiate between what is an experience and what is an activity or a good customer service. So many use the word experience all the time, but often what they are referring to is actually just an activity. So to be an experience, it needs to be memorable. And to be memorable, it needs to tap into our emotions. So put yourself back in the shoe of a tourist, which we haven't been for a long time, for a year. A tourism product is what you buy. An experience is what you remember. So when you choose what you are going to do on a vacation, you're not buying something you will take home with you. You are actually buying something intangible. All you get to take away with you are the memories. So switching the table around to be the tourism operators now. It is key that what you're offering is memorable. So let's take a look at an inn in PEI who explored creating a partnership to create a new experience. It is a video, a little bit lengthy, about 6 minutes, but it covers a lot of elements to create a memorable experience. There we go. Are you guys hearing it okay?
We can hear it.
The audio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yvonne, are we supposed to be able to see the video?
Experiential travel
Sorry?
engages visitors in a series of memorable travel activities revealed over time that are inherently personal engage the senses, and make connections on an emotional, physical, spiritual, or intellectual level. Canada is home to a collection of travel experiences that delight, inspire, and engage visitors from around the world.
Canada is investing in new experiences that feature our culture, cuisine, nature, and real people. Many tourism businesses have shifted from offering a product, something that people can buy, to crafting experiences.
So you guys cannot
something
see
that
it?
travelers remember.
We're in
Just we can just see your slideshow. Maybe is it just behind the slideshow?
It's actually playing on my screen right now.
Maybe just stop sharing and reshare. Sometimes that works.
Okay.
But the sound's coming in great. So, 5 out of 10. We're all
Well,
halfway there.
okay, let's maybe I need to, sorry. Maybe I'll optimize for video clip here, but
Perfect.
which means that I can see you guys. Just let me know.
So I can still just see your PowerPoint.
Breakfast, which is located in Fernwood, Prince Edward Island, which is about
What about now?
midway between the Confederate.
Are you playing it through YouTube?
It is a YouTube.
There it is. I can see it now.
You can see it now?
Yeah. So if you hit play, and I'll let you know if it's working.
Can you? Okay. Is this the screen you're seeing?
Yeah. The fulfilling travelers' dreams through experiences.
Okay. It's weird. I'm not doing. Okay. Well, let's play it this way then. Well, this has to be okay. How about now?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Experiential travel engages visitors in a series of memorable travel activities revealed over time that are inherently personal, engage the senses, and make connections on an emotional, physical, spiritual, or intellectual level. Canada is home to a collection of travel experiences that delight, inspire, and engage visitors from around the world.
Canada is investing in new experiences that feature our culture, cuisine, nature, and real people. Many tourism businesses have shifted from offering a product, something that people can buy, to crafting experiences, something that travelers remember.
We're in Briarcliff Inn, which is our bed and breakfast, which is located in Fernwood, Prince Edward Island, which is about midway between the Confederation Bridge and Summerside along the shore of the Northumberland Strait. With the experiences that we've developed, they're based specifically on the whole idea of you learn something by doing something with someone who lives here. It wasn't until we started to talk to our guests and listen to what the guests were saying and listen to what resonated with them that we came to the realization that what we see as commonplace, others see as exotic.
This shift from product to experience requires a better understanding of travel values, why people travel. The Canadian Tourism Commission has invested in the Explorer Quotient, or EQ, to help us understand the different traveler types that are coming to Canada. Experiences can be added as a layer to what is offered at the present time, aligned exactly to what travelers are looking for.
There are people that are looking for something different, a way to connect with the place, a way to meet people and interact with the people who live here. There are visitors who are interested in the culture of a place. Europeans in particular seem to be quite interested in immersing themselves in the local cultures.
They talk about the experience in one way, but they talk about the meeting and the personality of the person that's giving and providing that experience much more because they're connecting with that person.
When we first came up with the idea of the oyster fishing experience, I went and approached Erskine, and I sat down with him and introduced myself and explained what we were hoping to accomplish. You know, his first reaction was, well, we're oyster fishermen. We're not in the tourism business. And I said, well, you know, what you don't realize is that you are in the tourism business, because our guests come back and ask, who are those guys out there in the boats with the long sticks? What are they doing?
Yeah, we're going to rake up the oysters. Less harm to our environment. Up comes our oysters. We have we have everything on there, from a 3-year-old oyster way down to a small little 1-year-old. The age of the oyster is determined by how many rings is on it. You can see where it's got its first years of growth right here, and then it'll come up here to a 2nd year of growth, and then the 3rd year finish. So let's switch sides. Yeah. Now you've seen how I've done it. Oh, look at this. So what we'll do with this is we're going to put it through the cleaner. Set that right in there. Pop. There you go. You've got your first oyster. There's some big guys.
Look at those.
Isn't that beautiful?
Wow.
One right there.
1 year, 2 years,
3 years, 4 years, 5 years,
5, and then 6. That's wow.
So are you looking for work in this industry? Because you seem to have a touch.
I seem to have a bit of a knack for it.
You do have a bit of a knack for it, and I'm thinking you'd be quite successful. People love to do this because it's an experience. It's actually what happens on Prince Edward Island. It's what we're all about. This is part of PEI.
They've just seen the potential that is there, that has taken them beyond simply being fishers of oysters and packers of oysters. They've seen value-added opportunities in it, and they love having the tourists come because they see it as just an extension of what they do.
From out-of-the-way fjords, parks, and rural villages, to stunning towers and historic districts in our urban centers, experiences are being provided on a wide variety of stages.
What we're finding is that for our experience providers, many of them weren't involved in the tourism industry, but we're doing these things anyway. We've added an additional revenue stream for them that provides them with an opportunity to sometimes extend their season or to at least generate additional revenue. And we think that if you create the opportunity for them to connect with someone who lives here and learn something about this place, the likelihood is that they're going to come back because they've had such an incredible experience here.
Great experiences create opportunities for new revenue, positive TripAdvisor reviews, increased media coverage, and most importantly, raving fans who tell your story to the world.
You don't have to build any new buildings. You don't have to invest in expensive infrastructure. What you're dealing with is something that already exists. Our oyster fishermen were already there. Our sandcastle sculptor was already there. And whether you run a bed and breakfast, a hotel, a restaurant, if you're in the tourism business, within your community, there are people who are doing fascinating things and who are very interesting people. All you need to do is connect with them.
The Canadian Tourism Commission and the Grossmorn Institute for Sustainable Tourism have some great resources to help you craft new experiences, market, deliver, and share them with the rest of the world.
Okay. So I don't know where you guys disappeared to, but are you guys able to see my screen still?
You bet. Yep.
Okay. Which one? This one with slides on the side or the full screen?
For partners in PEI. That's what I see. With this, I do see the slides on this side as well too.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. I'm just going to reshare again.
No, no problem.
It's got some problem here with now I can see you guys again. Okay, so continue. Okay, so let's unpack the takeaways from the video. First, listen to what your guests are saying about your business or what your visitors to your community are saying, whether it's online or in person? Are there some regular comments that come up that can help improve your business or inspire you to create a new experience, just like the one that they just had? And you don't need to build new infrastructure or spend a lot of money to create something new and exciting. Engage with the local talents in your community. There are a lot of talented people, even just, in Okotos, they're doing great things, whether they're chef, tradespeople, artisans, musician, producers, and more. And also visitors wants to learn from the locals. What quote unquote the owner said is, bring me into your world so I can learn something new. So we're surrounded by storytellers, and it is such an important ingredient to crafting a memorable experience. Who can you invite to the table to help enrich your experience? For the in PEI, their oyster fishermen friends help bridge that gap. So there are a number of benefits that a business can realize when they focus on developing experiences. As a business operator and owner, of course, you want to know if this will bring you money through the door. So here's an economic value grid that visually supports this. So experiences that responds to what travelers are looking for generate demand and repeat visitation. They also attract higher yield markets with a competitive advantage based on value, not just the price. They can also increase the length of stay and per person spend, but they also can be resulted in positive traveler reviews as well. So here is a great example from Alberta here. One that was able to adapt and deliver during COVID is Métis Crossing. Normally, they offer their paddle in the past signature summer experience, but when March rolled around last year, with new COVID-19 restrictions, everything changed. So they had to envision a new COVID-friendly summer experience, and they pivoted quickly to launch their new Meet the Métis experience, a modified interpretive program that is delivered in accordance with provincial guidelines. Meet the Métis offers isolated family units or small groups a socially distanced experiences that sets the stage for learning about the Métis culture and an introduction to the Métis people as well. So guided by the Métis knowledge holder, visitors are taken on a journey of traditional lands, camps, and trappers' cabins where that they can learn about traditional seasonal practices and their importance to the Métis. Engaging hands-on opportunities to learn Métis art and craft and weaving are complemented with storytelling. So visitors are also immersed into traditional games and music, learn step by step how to jig. So, and lunch was also included and it's been modified into an individually packaged Métis themed meal. So let's take a look. I do have another video. I wonder if it can be played. Let me know, Jamie, if this works. Yeah.
We are at Métis Crossing. We are inside Magnus Cromarty's original house. The Métis farms had these one-room houses. And so everything in this house would happen in this room.
Welcome to the fishing camp. This is the way the Métis used to go fishing a long time ago.
So we are standing inside the Cromarty barn. It was built in the 1930s and restored when Métis Crossing was made into this great place.
To book your signature Meet the Métis experience, visit us at www.métiscrossing.com.
So there you go. So if you're liking what you have been shown today and have seen today so far and wants to create your own experiential program, pay attention to the elements here. So we'll go through how many points there, 7 points of major elements. And we have been working with two what we call experienced designers. Their names are Nancy Arsenault and Celeste Devar, who have been instrumental in helping Travel Alberta design our experiential travel training program called Shift. And they have identified a number of design elements that come together in the creation of an amazing experience. So here are a few highlights to get your creative juice flowing. The first one is celebrate local and authentic. Local people, local traditions, local food, local music, local artisans are all those local things and people bring connection to the place and bring the destination to life. And because each person brings their own unique personalities and passion to the experience, it means that you can have the same experience anywhere else. In the example of the oyster fishing experience, these fishermen were part of the experience, showing people what they do for a living, then letting them try their hand at it. The second one is select a story or a theme. In the PEI example, the theme they follow was very simple, a day in the life. The fishermen didn't do anything that they would normally do. The difference, though, was they were doing it for an audience and helping the audience do it for themselves. The third one is engage. When we talk about engagement, we talk about more than interacting with the experience providers. Engagement includes allowing visitors to try something on their own. So let me try to do what you do. In PEI, the engagements comes from fishing for oysters. And in a COVID environment, don't forget to, of course, consider any sanitation measures that will assist elevate staff as well as your guest safety. Extra wipe downs, single-use items, use of PPEs in smaller indoor spaces, reducing group capacities and so forth like that. Be a guide. The secret to staging an experience is knowing when to share your stories and when to let the guests actually engage in the activity or conversation with you. So for those very skilled experience providers have mastered the right narrative that engages their audience, then they allows them to try on their own. So the experience provider becomes the guide on the side, ready to help and respond to questions, and not just like a talking head the whole time. So as one experience provider explains is that a visitor learns something new by doing something with someone who lives there. So that's a quote that I love a lot. The next one is keep it simple. You don't have to create a complicated experience. Breaking down an idea into well-paced, smaller elements allows time for guests to discover, immerse, converse, and connect with each other, as well as the experience providers. Number 6 is create intimacy, smaller groups, and of course, especially right now in the time of COVID, and currently social distancing protocols provide better opportunities for, in fact, storytelling, interactions, and having those intimate conversations. So bonus really amongst cohort and family, it can be a more exclusive experience, and guests now know this is a higher value as well. Last but not least is a memorable and creative takeaway that increases the value and therefore the price point as well of an experience. So here are some of the ways that travel has changed to become more experiential. So our accommodation experience is a little bit broader right now, not just provide you a place to sleep with a bed, but things like comfort camping and connecting to the nature and the place is important. So I think today is the first day for campground reservation, and I believe tomorrow we'll be opening up for reservations for comfort camping. So traditional industries as well are seeing opportunities to diversify and welcome guests to their properties and creating a new revenue stream. Is there an opportunity for you to partner with such an industry and work together to create something interesting that can be found anywhere else in the province? Or perhaps it is an existing property or place, but you just need to put your own cultural twist on it. So here is an example of an Alberta business that has evolved on the experience development front by thinking about their business differently. If you guys were at my last partnership and packaging workshop, I have also talked about Canmore Cave tour with Adam Walker as well. Not too long ago, Canmore Cave Tours was a business dedicated to serving hardcore cavers. But after being introduced to experiential travel, Adam Walker, the owner of Canmore Cave Tours, started looking at his business differently. Instead of seeing it as a place just for caving, he started to see it as a stage. When he looked at it that way, the opportunities for what he could offer become endless, and the chance to attract new audiences was just broad. Adam started looking for partners, people, or businesses that he could work with to be featured on his stage. He began by partnering with the local choir at Christmas to host the first ever choir in a cave. Then he partnered with musicians to host concerts in a cave. And then he started hosting even movies in the cave. The two things Adam thinks about whenever he's creating a new experience are the stories and the storytelling and who can he partner with. Adam was also able to find the perfect balance of maintaining the creativity and experiential nature of this adventurous program, as well as aligning its delivery with complying to provincial health and safety guidelines. During the province-wide shutdown last year, Adam created a virtual tour to people so people could continue exploring. Discover some of the cave's fascinating secrets in the interactive virtual tour. Although right now they've been allowed to reopen to offer tours, they still constantly add more new contents to the virtual tours. Get cooking. This one is very interesting because I love food. So not every experience has to include food. But when you are looking for ways to bring people together, it is a great way to create conversations and at the same time celebrate local and honor culture. So also, not every dining experience has to take place in the restaurants either. In fact, as many of you likely know, some of the most memorable are the ones that actually don't. They are in places that help to bring the travelers to the heart and soul of the tourism business or destination. So Get Cooking, a culinary school in the heart of Edmonton's downtown, have effectively moved their physical cooking classes to virtual due to COVID. Hosted on a Zoom platform, the experiences are very aligned with the company's goal of demystify cooking and empowering home cooks with both confidence and new skills. They keep the Zoom classes small to align with their objective to maintain a relaxed and relaxing atmosphere and intimacy. And they do a great job of promoting classes on their Facebook and Twitter platforms. As AHS guidelines flexed with the provincial reopening phases, Get Cooking was able to as well open for small in-person classes, but they're still delivering virtual classes and will continue to do so even when they are fully operational again, as virtual has helped really expanding their audience base to even include international clients. Chatsworth Farm, east of Edmonton, which raise cattle, sheep, turkeys, and grows alfalfa, wheat, launched what has become an extremely popular virtual farm tours on Facebook and YouTube. And this is comprehensive. You can join Charlotte, which is on the screen here, and her brother Alex as they ride in a tractor to feed the cows and be right there for welcoming newborn farm animals to the world. So what they offer virtually is a really deep dive into the slice of life of working on a real life farm. So I'm bringing up this example because it is important to recognize that what we think as ordinary in our daily life can be seen extraordinary through the eyes of travelers. So when you create something that is remarkable, the experience is the marketing. So let's check this next video out, Jamie, and let me know if this video is working.
The best way to generate for any demand for any offering, whether it's a commodity, a good, a service, or another experience, is with an experience so engaging that customers can't help but pay attention, right? Spend their time with you and then give you their money as a result, right? That's what you want to do. You want to stage marketing experiences. So for example, if you buy a grand piano from Steinway, it may cost you $80,000, $100,000. Right? Steinway will offer to throw a concert in your own home. They ask you for the names of friends and neighbors you'd like to invite over. The night of the concert, they have valet parking outside. They serve wine and hors d'oeuvres inside. And then they hire a professional concert pianist to play your piano in your own home. And you know that's the best that piano is ever going to sound, is the night of the concert. And the gentleman that told me about this said Steinway did a magnificent job. The concert was fantastic. The pianist was magnificent. And after the concert, 2 of his friends bought pianos as a result. Right? That's what I mean. The experience is the marketing.
So I know that you guys are not selling grand pianos, but every business has the opportunity to be engaging, to involve their guests in creating something memorable, something worthy of sharing with others, and those word of mouth advocates that don't cost you any marketing dollars. So again, the experience is the marketing. So few businesses can do it all, like I said last time at our partnership and packaging workshop. So start with the low-hanging fruits. Look around in the community, your own community, to see who you could work with. And don't forget to consider people who might not be even in the tourism industry. Partnerships can be very powerful. I encourage you as individual tourism business or as communities to collaborate, to compete. Dare to be different. I can't stress this enough. When you can differentiate what you offer from what others offer, people notice. If you do it well, people talk. And this is how raving fans are created. So I want to make sure this is the end of the experience development presentation, and I just want to have few slides before I open up for questions here, is to make sure that you're aware of our industry hub, which is industry.travelalberta.com. It's a portal to connect Alberta tourism businesses with insight, expertise, and best practices to help guide marketing and business activities. So you can sign up for our connections e-newsletters, access to the visitor marketing insight, and also our regular educational webinars. So this is the list of what we have for this month. We continue our weekly webinar every Thursdays at 10 a.m. with different speakers within Travel Alberta, as well as external experts to spend an hour with hundreds of our tourism industry partners on various topics. So for the month of March, this is the list here. Feel free to visit industry.travelalberta.com to register any of these ones. All of the webinars are free, but registration is required. And I'm just going to put my contact information on this slide, and welcome any questions that you guys have for me. I know it's a small group, so it could be 1 or 2 questions or more. So we can make the last 12 minutes as a discussion here within our small group.
Oh, maybe I'll go first if you don't mind.
Yep.
Yvonne, the Okotoks Arts Council a few years ago did something called the Wizarding World of Okotoks. We got a cease and desist letter from virtually Disney, but Warner Brothers, no, whatever. Anyway, so we turned it into Enchanted Okotoks. Obviously not as successful, but it was late in October and people came even if it was freezing out. It was wonderful.
And what year was it?
We started the last one was 19, so 3 years before that. So 17, I guess. And what can Travel Alberta do to help us if we're doing this again?
If you guys are doing this as an event again, definitely we can look into how we can support financially. We have something called an funding investments program called Cooperative Marketing Funding Program.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's the fall time that you're thinking, because of COVID, we have changed the how that we're accepting the application. So we are going to open up for to accept applications starting April 1st for spring and summer experiences and events. And then the fall comes, I would say maybe August or September. Don't quote me on it because we still decide on the month of the intake periods. Then we will be looking into the fall and winter experiences and events for consideration to provide financial support.
And so we obviously were having trouble with the J.K. Rowling's situation. She's got wonderful people out there that do put money into all sorts of creative things and so on. But we couldn't get an answer back from them on how can we make this work together. If we fundraised for the J.K. Rowling Foundation, could we use, that type of thing? Is that anything that Travel Alberta can help with?
I would say maybe perhaps Dale, we can take this offline and discuss a little bit more because I want to know a little bit more details of the events and programs. Unfortunately, it's my first time hearing it. So I would like to know a little bit more of the details and background and the nature of the events and how that you guys, in terms of objectives and goals for this upcoming one.
Okay, thank you.
That'd be great. Yeah, and I know I'm not sharing my screen right now, but definitely, did you write down or get Jamie to send you my contact information and we can go from there?
Yeah, I can take care of that right now. And I'll probably forget if I don't.
Thank you, Jamie. We do depend on him a lot, don't we, Pam?
I try.
He's been doing a great job. You guys are lucky to have Jamie there.
Don't tell him though.
Okay, sorry. Edit that, cut it out. Don't say that in the YouTube video. Yeah. Great. Any other questions for me?
No, I just if anything, I just want to say thanks for the past 3 weeks. These have all been awesome. From the my biggest takeaway from all 3 sessions actually is just that connection through the ATIS, the ATIS platform. That's awesome. And then I've been working with Yvonne and a couple area golf courses and hotels to try to figure out some stay and play packages for this summer for the area to get some more people here. So yeah, I really do appreciate your time and this information is super valuable. So I'm hoping awesome. That the people that were in attendance to all these sessions can take it back and learn something from them and hopefully make some tourism happen for the region.
Yeah, and whenever you guys have any questions, whether or not you think it's tourism related, just, reach out to me, and we can, if we can resolve it, great. If we can't, then maybe we know within our network of people that can answer those questions as well. So
Righty. Well,
thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
everyone. I really appreciate that.